Cities Skylines 2. Has been out for over a year now. Back then it was possible to build functioning yet horrendous cities. A year later I want to see if this is still possible. Let's see if we can still build a functioning city without building any services, no electricity, no water. Let's get it started on the map of San Francisco. This is really the best place to start a horrific city. We do everything vanilla and we're here. Just before we can start, I'm going to do a very small change. I'm turning the entire map flat just so we don't have problems with our streets and zoning. Topography really doesn't matter right now. With the plot of land terraformed, let's get to streets, extend the one we already have. And then with streets in this case, I actually mean massive grids, just like this one right here for housing and another one down here, eventually for industry. Let's connect everything up so people can actually reach these beautiful grids. Another connection here in the middle. Then we zone a lot of low density as well as a whole row of commercial and a bunch of industry. Let's start the time, get it going as fast as possible. And with just these streets, we're already losing around $350 an hour. This will change hopefully as soon as people move in and pay taxes. And there they are, eager to move into this hellscape of San Francisco. And I must say, with the view of the Golden Gate Bridge, it looks pretty nice, especially with all these error indicators not present. But if I activate them, oh well, this is what it looks like. We also just hit tiny village. This gives us more map tiles and medium density, as well as a new signature building. We can use that to squeeze in even more people, maybe even with the French style. Maybe we get some beautiful houses. Let's also put down the signature buildings we have. They should increase happiness. And I mean, our people will be so happy in this town. And I mean, I have no problem with them being happy. I just won't, oh that was fast, we already got a small village. I just won't provide any services. And the good thing is, if we don't have any services, there won't be any costs. And that means we already made profit. We're making 1,000 an hour. We're again over the 1 million you start with at the beginning. And the green bar is just getting bigger and bigger, where everything is at normal taxation and we just see. And so now we just have to hope that it continues this way and just continue zoning and giving space for people. Man, these French houses, they look nice, very beautiful. If there weren't just these large indicators saying backed up sewers, no electricity, no water. We still have a large demand for low density housing. So since there's demand, let's fulfill it and zone a lot of that. I mean, we've already zoned a lot of space, and in like this view, it looks like, well, any beginner city in Cities Skylines 2. And it's really funny because there's a lot of people struggling since the Economy 2.0 update with like the expenses of a city. But like, just don't buy anything that's expensive. You can make pure profits, apparently. Still, a lot of people are moving in. Let's see how long we can get that continued. And actually, traffic is a big problem. Maybe we can fix some of that with unlocking advanced road services. Oh, and there are a lot of people leaving actually. They are moving away. Yeah, a lot of people are moving away. That's interesting. But currently still more people are moving in that are moving away. Not sure if that was like this the last time. Maybe a 5-star country hotel solves this issue. Let's just plop it down. And I guess we just wait. We don't seem to get over 800 citizens. And we actually don't have any more demand. Let's take a look at some of our city statistics. There's almost no unemployment. We have a lot of adults and a whole lot of deaths, but somehow the number of people in our city is still growing. So I guess we'll just wait and see. Funny thing is, I see houses upgrading here, the green arrows. Here is another one. That's kind of funny that they're upgrading their houses without even having like sewage. I mean, why invest money here? And I guess while there are still many people leaving, I mean, we're almost at 1,000 inhabitants. So things do appear to be working well. Our profit bar is just enormous. We're making 100k a month with like 8k expenses. Household wealth is somewhat on the decline, so it's not improving again. But we have a lot of workers and no tourists, but I guess that makes sense. Who would like to visit this place? And with that, we just crossed 1,000 people. We have, actually it says right here, 400 people moving away per month and 2,000 moving in per month. So as long as the moving in number is higher than the moving away number, we can grow our city. That's great. And I just now see that unemployment is growing. So maybe let's just make, well, for one, more space for our industry. Let's put them here. And secondly, we could decrease taxes on industry. I mean, they don't really provide any money to us anyway. It was like 5k. We get most from commercial and residential, and this will lead to a lot more industry spawning in. Maybe this was a tiny bit too much. Let's increase taxes back to 5%, or a number where the demand declines a bit again. And maybe this helps with more people wanting to move in if there's many jobs. Also, alleys might be the better choice because they're cheaper, and that way we could make even more profits. Let's just try it out. Throw down an alley, and then we can zone it fully with industry. Oh, and a type of industry we could actually zone is specialized industry. Let's get a stone mine in here. Why not? And let's make it giant so we get a whole lot of stones. We already are at large village. I'm not sure what it gives us yet, but I mean, we don't need any of the new service buildings, so there's not really much point apart from like office buildings and large density. But like, this is our stone mine. It should produce a whole lot of stone, I would assume. Apparently my buildings have a low efficiency because, well, they don't have services. But as long as people are moving in and paying taxes, why should I care? Let's quickly check. We unlocked like fire rescue, ores. Not really anything that we can use because all these things cost stuff. And we're not going to use stuff that costs stuff. It's as simple as that. Our stone mine is producing 3 tons a month, or like 0.3 tons. Actually pretty funny. It's like 500 kilograms. It's like one truck with stones leaves here like maybe every year, but that's what happens if you have low efficiency. Let's take a look at the city entrance. We have a lot of people walking away. I don't think I can stop them from walking away because they will just walk across the highway. And if I delete the street, that would mean that people also couldn't move in. But maybe this is what we will have to do if more people move away. If more people move away than move in. But so far, it's just working. We have only industrial demand, but that's the case because of all the other things. We still have so much zoned where people can build. There's literally not really that much for us to do. Maybe I'll get in a livestock farm. I mean, why not? I think you can put them everywhere. This should get us some livestock. Maybe that helps our economy. Yeah, we're getting a few kilos. I mean, all that seems quite useful. So, I mean, just build more of it. It's producing stuff. I guess producing stuff is never a bad thing. Maybe we can even get some wood because we have a deficit of that. It's not like we're lacking space. Now we have a wood farm and we grab another farm for livestock. This makes us a production surplus. That's nice. And I just saw a small red arrow here. Yeah, maybe we're stagnating in population. That would be new. Let's take a look at our graph. I mean, it's skyrocketing. It might be slowing down somewhat, but we'll just have to see. Let's just simulate for 10 minutes and see what happens. Just some minutes later, I have already reached a population of 3,000. There's now a lot of traffic and we've zoned almost all of that French medium density housing. So almost everyone is living in one of those. We have even more industrial demand and our profits, of course, are through the roof. Taxation is still with the lowered industrial taxation. I'll move it back up a tiny bit because we just have a lot of demand. And we're also just about to hit the next milestone. Grand Village. It gives us money, which we, well, frankly don't need. But it also unlocks low density offices and low density housing, which is a type of high density housing. Also natural disasters, that might be critical. Oil, and not really anything useful for us because all these things cost money, which we're not spending. Let's immediately implement the new things we got, starting by offices. We can add, first of all, offices here down at the residential zone, differentiating it from the industrial area. And then let's also add new housing of the high density kind right here. We can add low rent housing. Let's just zone a big area right here. And also we have a massive traffic jam. Maybe we can solve some of these issues removing the traffic light here so everyone can just move through freely. This should get traffic flowing way better. Yeah, and it seems like just like that people can move into the city way easier, and this should also mean that more people can actually move into the city and our population to grow even faster. Specifically now with these bigger buildings, traffic backlog is reducing. That's great. And let's take a look at what we have. So we have these low rent housing buildings. Of course, they complain about everything. Now they're also complaining about police and hers. There's like 4 people here waiting for an ambulance. Kind of funny, but everything's still going well. We're growing. We are making a lot of money and suddenly traffic is back. I guess these are all the taxis now trying to leave again. Let's get some more industry in here. I mean, maybe considering unemployment, it's at 7%. It's about time we do so. Production wise, we're making wood, livestock and stone. All of that we're exporting. Oil could be an option, but there just isn't really any oil available. So let's just add more industry, maybe even right behind these farms. Let's try to get some alleyways in here. That might even then look somewhat nice, just like that. And we zone a whole lot of industry. Enjoy. This could also be farmhouses if we wanted to. Speaking of that idea, maybe we add some right here. Why not? And down here as well. So if people want to move closer to their job, they can. Traffic is still horrendous. Not exactly sure why. I mean, why are you guys not moving? It was because of parking. Maybe we remove the parking spaces by adding larger sidewalks. Same on these roads. No parking for you guys. And how about we get a roundabout? Just a big roundabout in here. Hopefully that helps. Let's monitor the traffic flow over here. So for sure it's moving way smoother now. That's great. But there's just still so much traffic backed up. And we really need to get all these people in because these are all people that want to move into the city. What we could offer, let's try something sketchy. An off-ramp that moves into here. But we could start it from like here, then it goes underground all the way across here, and then we take it above ground and onto the highway. That way, all these cars leaving from here, they can circumvent all this traffic and directly go on the off-ramp. That should clear up traffic right here, and people should just be able to cross through easily. A lot of people already used it. I mean, it's a really sketchy road, but if it works, it works. And it really reduces the amount of traffic we have flowing through the roundabout backwards. And also the snake going all the way along here, I feel like is getting reduced. Some additional things we can do, remove the pedestrian crossings here. Also right here, as well as this traffic light. It's quite unnecessary. That should make people move quicker. But it doesn't really solve our traffic issues yet. How about we offer another of these wacky solutions? We take a street all the way up here maybe, so they can directly move into this neighborhood street here and circumvent the roundabout as well. So this for sure takes away some of the traffic. A lot of cars are moving directly into that tunnel, which means less car moving into the roundabout and freeing up all the space back here. I can't really do anything back here because I don't own the tile. Let's monitor this for another quick minute. These changes appear to have mostly solved the traffic issues, at least the backlog on the highway. There's still some backlog right here. The new area seems fine as well. And with that, we are closing in on 5,000 inhabitants. We have 3,000 moving in a month. 2,000 or like 1,300 moving away. Some unemployment, okay, but no demand for anything since there's still available space for basically everything. Let's take a quick look at the population graph. At some points it is declining, but that happened before as well. There were always some periods where it declines and then another period of growth. So I guess that's fine. I think it correlates with things just like these new buildings and so on. Oh, now the traffic is fully solved since there's not that many people moving in currently, 100 an hour, but still a lot. One interesting thing to note is we have buildings that are burnt down, probably because of fires. I assume I have to manually delete them. They're not rezoned automatically, but that's something we can do. And it's not really too important if we do it or not. There's so much space around, we can just wait for things to happen. In this building there's 12 people waiting for an ambulance. Oh well. Let's actually try to solve one of the access issues by buying another tile and adding a new intersection for people to move into our city. For that I'm going to buy intersections, for which we barely have enough points. I don't want to build a custom one. Then we buy this one tile and hope that we can get an intersection in here somehow. Maybe one of these, they're somewhat small. My We need to make sure that can't really get it to work within this area. So we actually need another tile, but that's no problem because, well, a tile costs 10k a month and we're making like 200. And now we can even consider like one of these giant interchanges with a lot of capacity. Let's actually do that because why not? And then reconnect the highway just like that. And we can now have another big road running up all the way to here and connecting up with this street with a few small, or like just one small cross connection. It looks not good at all, but I mean, this entire view doesn't look good at all. So, and people are already using this. That's great. Again, we removed this traffic light and we now have a bunch of new space as well as opportunity to expand in this area with the new highway interchange. But we don't really need it. We just need to wait for more people to move in, which they are. It just takes a while and we're making a whole lot of money. I don't see why anything here would change now. We have perfect traffic with now these two intersections. We have crazy amounts of revenue. I don't see why anything should change in the city. Happiness is already at its lowest. So the conclusion is Cities Skylines 2 is still horrible. I can't imagine that. I mean, this city should not be allowed to work. It should not be allowed to grow to 5,000 people. And I don't imagine it's that hard to make a mechanic that if there's literally nothing and everyone is incredibly unhappy and like buildings are burning to the ground without any fire station and this like guy just said, well, the way that people don't move in. But that's not how this game works. I feel like there's a hard-coded growth. It's kind of slow, but it's a minimum growth that will help you grow your city, but it's just why? Yeah, I really do hope they fix the game. Because apart from it, I do think there are some really nice things in it. Let me know if you have other crazy ideas, what you would like to see, or maybe do you want to see me grow the city to like 20,000 people, like 4x the population again? If you want to see that, I can do it for sure. Let me know in the comments. See you in the next one. Happy gaming.